Many Canadians across the country are scrambling to get their mortgages deferred after Canada's big banks announced last week that they would allow payment deferrals for up to 6 months because of the coronavirus outbreak. But what happens after that 6-month timeline?
We have a young family here. I got a 4-year-old, so you're kind of thinking about worst case scenarios. How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to put food on the table?
Personal trainer Hamza Khan is one of many Canadians who was forced to get his mortgage deferred after being temporarily laid off. He says after waiting on the phone for well over an hour, the process for the deferral was actually pretty simple.
How long do you need to do it for? We asked for the 6 months just because we don't know how long it's going to go for, and just the date of the reinstatement of our mortgage. That's it, really.
Ryerson University professor Murtaza Haider says there are a lot of unknowns when it comes to mortgage payment deferrals, which is why many borrowers may be feeling a little uneasy about the option.
What happens when the bank grants that option to you? What happens to your mortgage? What happens to the principal owed for the period that you're not paying? What happens to the interest owed for the period you're not paying? A lot of these things will become clear as the time goes by. And as we learn from the experience, not all banks may have the same policies, not all banks may have the same thresholds for qualification. I don't think there is a government legislation as such requiring or mandating the banks, or not just the banks, but all mortgage servicers.
We reached out to the major 6 banks asking about the possibility of additional interest payments. We heard back from BMO, CIBC, Scotiabank, and National Bank, all saying they will be making decisions case by case.
After 6 months, what will happen is that most likely the amortization period will be extended in a way that the payment schedule either remains the same as before, or given the financial situation of the borrowers, it may be that the mortgage payment may be rescheduled, recalibrated to meet the new income status.
Khan is hoping he doesn't have to use the whole 6-month deferral period.
I do feel like hopeful that things will change for the positive in a couple of months and that we will be able to go to work.
Mortgage expert Murtaza Haider says it's important to not take advantage of this system. He says think about your friends, family, and neighbors who actually need the mortgage payment deferral option. He says banks do not have infinite liquidity to offer this to the entire Canadian population. Maleeha Sheikh, City News.